A CDC study found ag workers have a higher suicide rate than any other occupation, and new legislation has been introduced to address the issue. Joining us now is Female Farmer Project founder Audra Mulkern. Thank you so much for joining us once again, Audra. Now, you actually helped inspire the bill by reporting on the crisis as you traveled through Kansas and Iowa. Talk about what you discovered.
Thanks for having me back, Christina. Yes, we traveled to farms across Kansas and Iowa, really trying to understand that statistic and the crisis that's happening on America's farms. Our reporting was published in December in The Guardian, and here we are 4 months later. It's a short 4 months, and we have legislation in both the House of Representatives and the Senate.
You know, why do you think that this is the case, that suicide rates are so high among farmers?
Well, there are a lot of suggested possible causes by the CDC. And the number one thing is social isolation. You know, these towns, as you know, in the Midwest are getting smaller and smaller, and these farmers are becoming more and more isolated. And there's a lot of potential for financial losses as well. You know, there's a slump in dairy prices. The cost of production for commodities are, higher than market price. All of these things bring a lot of economic pressure on our farmers.
Absolutely. It's been really tough. I mean, just watching these low commodity prices, I can imagine that you were able to talk to some people and actually hear stories firsthand. Did you hear any testimonies of what was happening in farm country?
We did. We sat at the kitchen tables and in the cabs of pickup trucks and walked the fields with these people and held their hands as they told us the stories of the people that they've lost and what it would mean to them to have the resources that this bill brings. You know, this bill reintroduces and reauthorizes the Farm and Ranch Stress Assistance Network, FRSAN, not a very elegant acronym there, but it was passed in the 2008 Farm Bill, but it was never funded. So what's different this time is that Farmers First Act actually has funding attached to it and will provide those resources like support groups and helplines and suicide prevention training for those family members and those advocates of farmers to be able to help.
How can people get involved and show their support for this?
Well, I think it's really a testimony that the fact that two people were able to affect change like this, to have this legislation introduced. I imagine the change that we can affect if all of us called our called our senators and asked them to support the Farmers First Act and get this bill passed with the Farm Bill.
Well, we really appreciate the work that you're doing. We want to definitely follow up with you in the future. Female Farmer Project founder Audra Mulkern, thank you so much for joining and sharing this serious issue across rural America. Now, if you or someone that you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, you can reach the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline 24 hours a day. Give them a call and have a conversation about it. 800-273-TALK. Once again, that number is 800-273-8255. If it's easier for you to text, go ahead and do that as well. Just text TALK to 741741.